You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and when to run. You never count your crypto. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the selling's done. Guys, we are in the midst right now of a situation where you're either going to hold them or you're going to fold them. And my words to you, my wise words to you would be, don't fuck this up. Now, I'm going to repeat this again. Don't fuck this up. Now, no matter how many times I say to you, don't fuck this up, somebody is going to fuck it up. All right? Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God. This is all in the charts. I'm back. I know everybody was missing me. Everybody's like, my God, I don't know what's going on in the markets right now because CBG has not been providing me his value-added technical analysis. Well, I am back for today. I think we have a 2-week candlestick close on Sunday, so we'll have to see if it makes sense to live stream on Sunday. But it's good to be back. I've had a very busy week. I spent some time traveling. And almost didn't come out the live stream today, to be quite honest, because work has been very, very busy. Good to see both of you guys on the live stream. I see you guys. I see you. Show me some love. Show CBG some love. Hold on. Let me put it in the chat. People really, I don't know if people don't. Let me put crush thumbs up. Okay? No thumbs down. Thumbs up. No, it feels good to be back. I'm glad to be back. I will tell you real quick before we get into some chart analysis, which, by the way, I'm being very forthcoming as I always am. I have not evaluated a single chart since last Friday. So literally, I've taken a week off from charting. So we're going to take a look at a lot of charts today that are critical for us to look at. We had a September closeout. We're going to take a look at the monthly. We're going to take a look at the weekly. We're going to take a look at the 2-week. We're going to take a look at a lot of different charts here. We'll see how long the live stream goes. Could be 30 minutes, could be 40 minutes. I don't know. We'll just see where the time goes. But I wanted to share something with you guys real quick before we get into charting. For anyone out there who's listening in the state of Florida. No, I'm just kidding. For anyone listening out there who is in a situation where you dread going to work, you have a horrible boss, you're just in a pretty miserable place in life. I know what that's like. I kind of shared a lot of that in a podcast from many months back. I found myself in a really rough situation for the first time in my 20-year career. I cannot tell you the world of difference it makes when you join an organization where you're truly valued and you enjoy what you're doing. You go to work every day and you enjoy your boss. And so I would encourage you guys out there that if you're stuck in a situation you don't need to be, you can make a change and make things happen. Because I'll tell you, a lot of that stress and misery that you get from your job feeds off into your personal life. So I think it's critical, whatever it is that you and I decide to do in life, that we truly enjoy it, that we're truly passionate about it, and we enjoy what we're doing. So with that being said, we have a lot of updates to get into. I'm not going to ramble anymore. At least I'll be rambling on the charts, but we're not going to ramble about life anymore. Let's get some updates here. So this chart remains untouched. This is the Bitcoin 12-hour. A beautiful thing has developed in the chart. A beautiful thing. We have another higher low. And another thing has developed on this chart amidst everyone calling for, I see some good bearish calls coming out on the X. First off, we're going to have to change that to resistance and this to resistance. But what else do you notice on the chart here? This light blue line right here, for the love of God, hit the thumbs up. I even commented in the comments, please people, small channel. I need the channel to grow eventually, right? And one of the ways the channel grows is through engagement. It's a wild, fascinating concept. Anyway, this light blue line right here signified this last swing high. We've since created a higher high, okay? We have our first higher high, okay? It's not important that it didn't hold. It would have been beautiful if it did. But quite honestly, based on all of the feedback that I gave you guys on where this market was at, I was surprised we got as high as we did in September. So it's not surprising that we're seeing a pullback right now. Remember, I said it would not be the end of the world. It would not be the end of the world if October truly just comes in as a chopping month, and for the next several weeks, we kind of go sideways and build support back up at this $63,000 to $65,000 area. I don't think we're truly going to start pumping very hard. Pause. I don't think we're going to truly start pumping very hard. Double pause. Until we get into November. Okay. I'm in a rare mood today. Until we get into November. Okay. So, what I would point out here, the beautiful thing that's taking place, we have all these higher lows coming in here. We have our first higher high coming in here. Now we want to take out this level. The next objective since we took out here is to take out here, and that puts us up at $70,000. Real nice, easy number to remember. Now, as critical as $70,000 is, remember, I'm the one that has been saying once we close above $68,000 on a daily basis, a daily candle closing body basis, and we confirm it as support with the preceding candlestick, the Kenny Rogers song, Gambler, knowing when to hold them and when to fold them, those words that I sang to you, if you weren't here at the start of the live stream, make sure you rewind that shit back. Those words that I echoed to you will make a lot more sense of why you should be holding right now and why it's going to be really hard to forgive yourself if you fold right now. I'm just giving you fair warning. We don't give financial advice on this channel. Again, what we do is we provide educational content, and I've been fortunate that I've been in this market for as many years as I've been in it, and I've learned a lot of lessons, and this period in time seems all too familiar to me. We've pointed to all sorts of objective data, empirical data, whatever word you want to use, that points us in that direction. Now, the other beautiful thing that's going on this 12-hour chart, look what we're doing. We talked about this before. Okay, we pulled back, whoop-de-doo, but we're right around the 250, and notice how the 50 has crossed above the 200. Now, if price is going to continue to go sideways, that's going to cause the 50 to go sideways as well with the price action, right? Eventually, what we want to see is we want to flip this 61.8. This is the next big area for us. 61,800 is that next big area I'm looking at to flip into support. The other thing that would do is it would move us above the moving averages, right? There's a ton of price confluence right in this area. I was going to make another... I'm in a really weird mood today. I don't know why. Right in that spot. All right, we'll just leave it at that. Not too much else to report on the 12-hour. We're just seeing a lot of positive price action at the moment. Now, if we get into, I want to actually go to the higher time frame view here since we haven't had a chance to assess how the monthly. Now, guys, again, for everyone tuning in, I have not looked at a chart since last Friday. So we are looking at these charts for the first time in a long time. The other thing that I mentioned at the top of the live stream is, why is there such low engagement? You clearly never want me to come back to YouTube again and eventually just sign off and say, see ya. Because that's what will happen if I have low engagement. Guys, hit the thumbs up button for me for the love of all that is good in the world. So you can see right now we have a bull pennant that is pressed up against here. Now, I want to actually take a look at this candlestick for all the fear that was coming in September. And one of the things I was echoing in September, if you were here, I was very consistent in saying, look, seasonality is a real thing, right? We shouldn't expect a lot of monumental things out of September, but it doesn't mean September is going to be some big red month, right? It could be down 1%, 2%, maybe flat for the month. We actually got a green candlestick for September, which is great to see. Now, what has that done for our price indicators? I'm still waiting for the stochastic RSI to turn up. If the fourth quarter really does look like how the fourth quarter I'm anticipating is going to look, you're going to see this stochastic RSI cross above 70 easily, and the RSI is going to start moving towards 70 as well. Price indicators are looking good. Formation of the candlesticks looking good. If we get off here for a moment, let's just delete that. And we actually take a look at price confluence. Let's see if we can make some other observations. I have that Kenny Rogers song stuck in my head now. There is a line right here. Now, how did I come up with this line? Approximately, what is this? 60,900. Okay, so on the 1 month, it looks like about 60,900 is an area of interest. There's a body touch here, a body touch here, a body touch here, a body touch here. So, and you can see we were below it here, and we've since gotten back up into this channel. This here is essentially a channel, okay? And once we start to clear this channel, which looks like it's at about 71,300, you're going to see things take off pretty swiftly. Again, take it from someone who's been here for a while. These markets don't tap you on the shoulder regarding the most violent of moves that they're going to make to the upside and downside. If you've literally been in a tailspin, reading a lot of stuff on X or watching a lot of clickbait, which we don't do here on YouTube, and you're kind of you're feeling lost in life and you don't know whether to buy or whether to sell, well, when the market decides that it is going to turn to the upside, I sure as hell hope your positions are established and you've been holding them and not folding them. Because again, you will deeply regret it, in my opinion, by the start of next year if you're not holding at this point. I feel, I mean, you can see the expression on my face. I am feeling uber confident about that. And hell, if I'm wrong, we'll come out here and have a conversation, but don't think I'm going to be. So let's get into the Bitcoin weekly chart. Of course, we had a weekly candle close. That would have been this guy right here. I want to get in somewhere where I have some price confluence on here. I don't. Again, I need to hire a gym caddy so that they can clean up my charts. Oh, this chart is so messy. Oh my god. All right, we know we have a bull pennant. I'm going to take this off. This chart's getting a little too busy for me. We're going to take this off. We don't need that. Yeah, so you can see areas of confluence on here. It'd be great to get above 64,000. But let's focus on the price indicator. So couple things that I would point out here on the price indicators, which are encouraging bullish signs. First off, with this, let's actually look at the MACD first. You can see, okay, this candlestick has not printed yet. So if we just focus on this past Sunday where we printed, what's happening to the MACD? It's beginning to curl up, flatten out, and the histogram is going light red. Now again, this week isn't final yet, right? So you want to see this thing continue to stay in that light red area, and we will see. Stochastic RSI, you tell me, are we above 20 and trending up? Yeah, we look great, okay? Let's look at the relative strength index. Significant development on the relative strength index. Now, I don't like to see that we didn't hold 54. I'd like to hold 54, but we broke the descending resistance, which is a step in the right direction. Let's reclaim 54. Let's reclaim 70. It's going to be very difficult. I'm going to tell you right now, and this is something I told you we're going to keep an eye on. It's going to be very difficult for Bitcoin to begin creating, well, actually, let me make sure that I state this correctly. It is essentially a near zero probability that Bitcoin is going to create a higher high on the RSI by the time we break out to new all-time highs. The question I'm going to have as we're getting up to the $85,000 to $92,000 area, where is the RSI? Are we double topping? Are we creating some bearish divergence? Are we creating a higher high? That's what I'm going to be keeping an eye on. But the RSI is so low right now that I find it hard to believe we're going to take this high out here in the next couple months. We'll have to see. But encouraging signs that we at least broke out of this downtrend that we've been in since March. So really good to see. Let's get into the 2-week. Actually, did we have a 2-week close this past week? Let me see here. No, we did not. So if we look at the 2-week, again, all eyes on the stochastic RSI. Like I said with you guys, I was not expecting a cross up in the stochastic RSI going into the first week in October. I said, hey, maybe by the middle of October, maybe by the end of October. That's still on the plate. Stochastic RSI is just sort of bottoming out in this range. We've spent a lot of time talking about what happens when we go back below the 20 and then back above it on the 2-week, what sort of price action we get. We're not going to rehash that. But right now, things are looking positive that if we can stay relatively within this area, we're halfway there. We're at 11. So we'll have to see how the week closes out. Other indicators here. We're still in a downtrend on the RSI. This thing needs to turn around. Similar to the weekly, I want to see us break the descending resistance. Also get it back above this ascending channel here. We had an ascending line of support here that broke. I want to get back above there. So it's really, I mean, at the end of the day, it's getting above 70. So that is what we're going to keep an eye on. If we take a look at the MACD, MACD's trying to flatten out here. So we'll have to see how the week closes. This will be an important week going into October, right? October, you know, it's interesting. October, which many people refer to as Uptober, hasn't started off very bullish, right? There's 28 more days to go in the month of October. How many times have you come on this live stream and I've said, guys, we're like 2 or 3 days into the month. Like, let's just chill, right? We said the same thing in September. If you go back to September, where are we at? Did I close that on the chart? Well, if you go back to September, there was volatility in there too. I don't know if it was August or September. I forget. I think maybe it was August. Yeah, it was August. Said chill. Let's wait and see how the month develops, and you know, September ended up coming in very strong. So let's see what other charts we can take a look at. There's plenty of charts we can take a look at. I'm just trying to, again, there was no preparation coming into this live stream. Did not have time for that. Get off the Caspa chart. No material updates there. Oh, by the way, for anyone who's in Caspa, if you're going to be salty when it's red and the rest of the market's green, I guess are you salty because it's green today and the rest of the market's red? I don't really know how that works. Anyway, I see a lot of saltiness out there. All this saltiness. We're going to take a look at XRP because one of the things that I had shared with you guys yesterday, that 11% downside move yesterday on the news was a bullshit move. It was a bullshit move. A buying opportunity, in my opinion. But let's take a look at the chart here. I thought I had, yeah, this is the weekly. Why do I have this on a monthly? Right now, we're sitting under the 50 simple moving average, which is below the 200, right? This isn't the most bullish of charts. We've spent time talking about it. But you're getting an opportunity, once again, to buy this thing under the 50 simple moving average. It's not rocket science to see here. Anytime you're under the purple line, okay, under the purple line, a big move. Under the purple line, a big move. Under the, well, not on the initial move here, but here, a big move. Here, a move. So as the market continues to recover, this asset, even if the chart is not as strong as other charts, which we've discussed, to me, this is presenting a great buying opportunity. It is. It's sitting here at 52 cents. Before you know it, this thing's going to be well above 60 cents. So, great buying opportunity, in my opinion, on an XRP. Getting an oversold condition territory. Let's take a look at the dollar. You know, one of the things we're continuing to look for is weakness in the dollar. Weakness in the dollar typically translates to continued weakness or continued strength in the crypto markets. Now, again, whoop-de-doo. We got a green candle coming in here. I'm not even going to flip on the indicators. Let's just take a look at price action. Price is king. Whoop-de-doo. We're getting a reaction off. We spent time talking about this. This move in the DXY should not surprise anyone. Okay, let's talk this through and rationalize what it is that we're actually seeing. We have a psychological level at 100. Okay, and again, anyone who tells you you can't chart the DXY, just like any other asset, literally has no idea what they're talking about. Okay, because I've heard this on prominent YouTube channels, that you can't chart the DXY like you would chart other assets. That's stupid talk. Of course you can. Of course you can. There is a psychological level at 100, and there's also the 200 simple moving average. Look at the value in the upper left-hand corner, 100.567. So there's a lot of price confluence, essentially a lot of support there at 100. Once it breaks, it should go down pretty significantly. But for now, we're getting a little bit of a bounce. Now, when would this get concerning? This would have to run. Let me just make this clear. We could run all the way back up to 104. Who the hell cares? Shit, we could hit 105. If we started to clear this descending resistance, we'd have to reevaluate the chart. But for now, all we have, guys, you tell me. Does this look bearish or bullish? We got lower highs and lower lows coming in. Maybe it'll, if you're not seeing how bearish this is, let me. Oh, I haven't done this in a while, isn't it? Wait, don't I click here or do I click here? It's been a long time. We're going to invert. So you tell me, does this look bullish or bearish? I mean, this almost looks like an ascending triangle now that I've looked at this. Look at this. We came up here, a high, a higher low relative to there, higher lows. We're coming up here and double tapping this area right here. This looks pretty bullish to me. This is the dollar index inverted, meaning all of the commentary bearish and bullish. It's like in the inverse world on, Stranger Things. God, it's such a good show. Can't wait for season 5. I think it's season 5. They're wrapping that thing up next year. That show's addicting. I'm probably going to go through and watch all the episodes again at some point. Anyway, this is the inverse world. So the fact that we're saying this is bullish on the Dixie is saying we're bearish. Okay, so there's just nothing here that concerns me. And by the way, if you're and we're strictly talking about price action, okay? We're not talking about the human element here, okay? Just talking about the financial aspect. If you're scared of war and what's going to happen on a lot of these charts, study what has happened in the past. Study all the other times there were these wars and there were fears of this. Were they buying opportunities or selling opportunities? Do your homework. There's nothing going on within the world that is leaving me feeling like everything's a disaster and it's going to fall apart. News, guys. Again, this took years and years for me to evolve my line of thinking based on just the evolution of my learning process. News is noise, guys. The data, the factual data, the hard data. What other adjectives can I come up with here? The empirical data, the objective data. It's going to tell you what's going on in the markets. All the other shit causes all these emotional rifts within inside of you, right? If you're reading headlines about Bitcoin hitting $1 million or XRP going to $20, ridiculous price targets, that's going to feed into your euphoria, which will result in a increased risk of you not selling out when you should be, right? Just like with the fear-mongering that's going on right now. I saw something, let me show you something on X that I barely was on X today, but notice how I say X and Twitter interchangeably. Red October, go Phils. Looking forward to Saturday. This bullshit. Like, I mean, best trader I know just sent this to me. Okay. All right. You're going to see a lot of that, right? And you see it on red days. Just like when we get a green day, you start to see these ridiculous, exuberant calls. You know, XRP's up like 6% in one day, and people are calling for like a $50 XRP, right? Bitcoin, moves up towards 65,000, and all of a sudden it's a super cycle, and it's going towards 500,000. I mean, these ridiculous calls. It's the same when there's fear in the market, guys. You can't allow those things to persuade you on your investment decisions. You got to stay glued in on these charts and allow that to tell you what's going on in the markets, and hopefully I help with that, right? Let me see. Let's look at total others. Now, this is going to give you a true feel for how altcoins are performing, because what this is essentially saying is, hey, let's evaluate the entire cryptocurrency market, but let's strip out the top 10, right? So that top 10, if you think about it from a mathematical perspective, because the top 10 comprises such a large market cap, it skews your view of many of the altcoins you're holding. If you want a true picture on the strength, relative strength or weakness of the altcoins you're holding, you got to remove that skewness. You got to remove out the heavy weighting of the top 10 and say, okay, they're performing how they're performing, but all these other market caps are a little bit more similar in size. Let's combine it all together and see how they look. So that's what's going on here. As you can see, we have some downward resistance here that we're starting to break out of. The other thing I would point you at, I'm going to call it right now. Okay? I'm going to make a prediction. And we'll see if it comes true. This week here, what did we just do? Right? This is, have you noticed, if you pay attention on this channel, a lot of the same things play out in charts. Not sure if you're noticing that yet if you've been here for a while. We cleared this resistance, and what did we not initially do? What did we immediately do? What did we immediately do once we cleared this descending resistance here, right? We came down and we've now tested prior resistance. Now, if this is a true impulsive bullish move that is going to ensue in higher highs and higher lows, this is going to hold, which I'm going to call it right now. That line is going to hold, right? We shouldn't have a candlestick that closes back in this area. We've retested it as bullish confirmation. Let's allow the week to close out. Then what we should expect is follow through and continued movements to the upside. So great to see, great to see. One of the things that I think a lot of people miss who aren't technicians, right? They don't study charts. They don't understand some of those fundamental concepts that you need. Some people think they can take a charting class and within a week do day trading, right? You're gonna lose all your money if you think that way. There's a lot of fundamental concepts in charting, and one of those fundamental concepts is the fact of being overbought and oversold. And within that realm of thought as well, as you're moving up in price, it's healthy to have some pullbacks, because what the pullbacks allow for is for your price indicators to cool off. You don't want things to get too overheated too soon. We've spent a lot of time in the past talking about this, right? So think about this. In a matter of 4 weeks, we went from 170 billion up to 242 billion. Let's take a measured move here. So if we look from the low here, just in 4 weeks, guys, in 4 weeks, total others is up 43%. So the fact that we're now seeing a pullback it had a total pullback of 22%, and we're currently sitting at 18.5%, guys, this is what's called healthy. Okay, we need this pullback, because else things are just going to get unsustainable. And then what you'll have is a situation where you'll get this huge overrun in price, and then a really harsh correction that'll last a longer period of time, right? So we want these nice stair steps up in price action. And then once we eventually clear prior all-time highs, right? Once we start to get up into this area, okay, blue sky breakout, all guns a-blazing. Then we truly do want to see a parabola. But until that point, until we start to see some price discovery, we don't want things to get too crazy. Let's see what other charts we can take a look at that look interesting. Ethereum, not a lot going on. Solana, not a lot. Doge. Ton has seen quite the correction. I feel like Cardano has been at 30 cents forever. I don't hold any Cardano, and I'm not throwing any shade on anyone here. I just, every time I've seen that chart, it's not really doing much. I mean, and quite honestly, some of the older tokens, if you pull up a Decentraland Mana, you'll see a chart that looks very similar to this. In fact, I think Decentraland, just because it's a more volatile asset, I think it's actually double bottom down here. So Cardano, keep in mind, Cardano still has bullish structure here, right? We got the higher highs and higher lows. It's just been abysmal in terms of its price action relative to other more exciting tokens out there. Now, I think what I'm pulling up here, I think CoinMarketCap, if I pull CoinMarketCap up here, it'll show Cardano's still at number 10, right? No, it's at 11. Okay. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. One of the interesting things of course, you guys know that I believe Caspa is going to um, break into the top 10. If it doesn't break into the top 10, it's going to get very close to it. Um, but it'll be very interesting to see. It'll be very interesting to see by the first quarter, okay, by the first quarter of next year, who is in the top 10. Because in generalities, where I'm expecting the market to be at that point, Bitcoin, I believe, is going to go on a pretty big run here going into the end of the year. And then you're going to have those altcoins that lag start to really run at the beginning of 2025, if I'm correct in my view. And given that's the case, you're going to see a lot of projects here continue to exercise strength. Hey, for as weak as ICP looks, could it make a run up here into the top 15? You got Tau, you got Pepe, you have Caspa, you have FET. Man, Polygon Matic has fallen out of favor. So there's a lot of projects in here. If I had to kind of pinpoint a few which look like they've been making some really strong moves that I think have great potential to break into the top 10, I think Near Protocol is definitely on that list. Near Protocol, Sui, Tau, Pepe for sure, Caspa. Fed I don't know about. Could get up into the top 15. I don't know about top 10. But it'll be interesting. If you study these cycles every year, you'll see that the top 10 changes. Like if we go back, just for shits and giggles, real quick, guys. If we go back to a historical snapshot here and we take a look at, let's have some fun. When the market was near its euphoric top here. Hey, it's my birthday, January 7th. Look at that. Look at the top 10. You have some of the same players, these three. Bitcoin Cash, Cardano. I don't even know what the fuck this project is. It's gone. Litecoin. Tron was in there. Stellar was in the top 10. IOTA was in the top 10. Dash. Guys, Dash has fallen off the planet. If you look at Dash, man, that sucks. Because I like the community and I like the project. It's a grassroots proof of work project that's been around forever. It's an OG coin. I love it, but the price has been abysmal. I might have to just pick up some more Dash. I own some of the OG coins that I'll never sell, but never say never. But yeah, this has been in a massive downtrend. But back here in 2008, look how high it was. It is at $1,500, and it was near the top 10. I think Dash right now is sitting at, I don't know, it's maybe around 150 market cap ranking. Monero, EOS. Okay, so that was at that top there. If we go to 2021 and we look at November 7th approximates, you can see Binance is now in the top 10, Solana, Polkadot, Doge made its big move, Shiba Inu. This brings back PTSD for many of you. Luna, Avalanche. So again, a lot of projects here that didn't exist in that prior huge run up came out of nowhere, right? So when we fast forward to, again, it doesn't matter for us. If your sell strategy is aligned, even if it's not the exact same views, if your sell strategy is aligned with mine in terms of looking at momentum indicators and when we're very overheated, then it doesn't matter when we top next year. But whether we top in May of next year or whether we top in December of next year, this top 10 to 15 is going to look a lot different, right? And I'm going to tell anyone right now who's listening who is a holder of Caspa, anything under $2 and anything that doesn't break at least into the top 15 is going to be very underwhelming, my personal expectations. So we'll have to see. I've told you guys it's my largest altcoin holding. So we will see. Let me see who I have in the comments. Yeah, no TA Q&A today, guys, just because, I've been out all week. I know Thursdays is normally TA Q&A, but we're probably going to call it a day at some point soon. Let me see who else I have here. Good to see Juan and Evan. Went to shit harder. Keep in mind, Juan, you may be correct in what you're saying, but when Bitcoin runs, your alts are going to run much harder. We should take a look at Bitcoin dominance before we go, actually. I like your press thumbs down twice if you don't. Appreciate that, appreciate that, Juan. Track, good to see you. Glad to hear the information I shared on the job situation resonates with somebody. I couldn't be more happier with the current situation I'm in, and between the cancer situation and surgery, and then working for a tyrant guy I used to work for was a real fucking idiot. Like, I don't have any ill will towards him, but I certainly don't wish him the best. Like, he'll get what he deserves. I think in life, I wouldn't call it karma, but I think you really get out of this life what you put in. And so I think if you spend your efforts making other people miserable and just being an ass, I think it comes back to bite you at some point. That's my view. I think we're going to pump hard. Yeah. I hope I am pumping hard at the end of October. I don't know. Not sure about that one. What if we are holding Casper? I have no comments. We've spent enough time on that project. James, glad to have you on the live stream. But yeah, we're not going to do TA Q&A today. One of the things I did want to look at, since you brought up Casper real quick, I've seen this thing at 1.1 cents forever now, and I'm just curious, because I told you this is on my trading radar for a swing trade play. We are seeing some bullish divergence, guys. So I did signal to you, I want to say a week and a half ago. It was around a week and a half ago. I believe very likely the bottom is in for Casper. Some of this bullish divergence is giving me some hope. I'll call it hope for anyone out there who owns it, that you're going to see a bounce here. So we have bullish divergence. Basically, the RSI is moving up as price is going sideways here. I have all the targets here, right? All the targets between 1.5 and 2.3, and then 2.5, and then all the way up towards 3 cents. Now, if I were still in this thing, and again, never financial advice, if I were in this thing, once you get a decent bounce, I'd get the fuck out and have already identified something much stronger that you would shift it into. And again, one of the things that I've shared with you, you want to avoid over rotation of your assets. But if you're in a clear loser, you're literally just holding on to an emotional hope that it's going to turn around. There's nothing in the chart that, again, if the chart changes and gets bullish, I'll be right there to tell you about it. But it looks like a heaping pile of donkey dong. So we're gonna take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. Before we sign out, guys, stick around. Come on, you've been without me for a week. Stick around. Let me get the right dominance chart up here. So I think after this live stream, I'm gonna decompress a little bit, and I'm going to finish up, for anyone who has watched on Netflix, the McMahon limited series. I'm on the second to last episode. In fact, I need to rewind it because I was like falling asleep last night and I was watching it. Yeah, and sorry for not being able to come out yesterday, but there's too much going on. I had a presentation at work today that I was preparing a lot for yesterday, So we're at the apex of the rising wedge. Again, guys, the rising wedge, this could play out a couple different ways. We could roll over tomorrow and break here. I'll show you kind of the expectation here. We could come down here and do one of these things, and fake everyone out and have a wick up here and then roll over. Okay, that's one scenario. The other scenario is we grind here a little bit, right up in this relative range. We fake everyone out and then come down. Or we just continue grinding here and then eventually begin to break market structure, try to reclaim it, and then roll over. Either way, again, I never share with you what I hope to see play out in a chart. I'm properly interpreting a technical pattern, which is a rising wedge. And a rising wedge is bearish, okay? And in our case, that's a very good sign, because once our patience pays off because we've been holding them, not folding them. If you didn't catch me singing at the beginning of the stream, make sure you check that out. I think I have a decent voice, personally. I think I got a pretty solid voice there. I was in music for years. I played the alto saxophone. Remember Homer Simpson on The Simpsons? Saxophone. Voice isn't there. Anyway, this is a rising wedge, and so it's bullish for us because our patience will eventually pay off. This thing will most likely break down. I don't know what the probability is associated with it. Oh, how dare I say that? I'm an actuary. I should know the probability with everything. But the probability of this, let's just say it's 65%. So just to illustrate the point. So there's roughly maybe a 65% probability this is going to break to the downside and your alts are going to run super motherfucking hard. And there's a 35% probability it just breaks to the upside, right? There is a probability for everything in life. Literally everything in life has a probability associated with it, including living and dying. Do you know one of the, I'm not cynical about this, but do you know one of the crazy things to think about? If you get married, you got a 50-50 shot. That's pretty fucking crazy. Now, you can actually whittle it down. You can say, all right, are the parents on the husband and the wife's side still together? That increases your probability. If you have divorcee parents, it's just statistics. It decreases your probability. I'm sure if you have kids coming into the marriage, it has an impact. I'm sure if there are racial differences or ethnic differences, there are impacts. There's all sorts of things you can kind of whittle out to determine probabilities, but it's crazy high level, just simplistically stated that you have a 50-50 shot if you get married. Whether you get divorced or you stay married. Hey, welcome to the life of statistics. Guys, I think we're going to sign out here. Now, I will say before I go, we are back. We are back to the regular schedule next week. If it makes sense, I'll live stream on Sunday. Quite honestly, I will tell you this, if we get some good price action to the upside and things are looking really bullish on the 2-week close, we'll live stream on Sunday. Who's we? I will live stream on Sunday. But if not, we'll just live stream on lunes, which is Monday. That is lunes is Spanish for Monday. It's Saturday, Sunday. So sábado, domingo, lunes, viernes, miércoles. No, viernes is Thursday. I don't know what the hell. I always forget. Martes. Let me start this over again. Saturday through Friday. I got this, guys. Sábado, domingo, lunes, martes, miércoles, viernes, Friday. What the fuck is Friday? Oh my God. Anybody know Friday in Spanish? Friday. Wow, I can't believe I don't know Friday in Spanish. I'm going to actually have to Google this because this is actually going to get to me now. Friday in viernes. Well, what the hell is Thursday? Don't tell me it's martes. That's Tuesday. Thursday in Spanish. Jueves. Sábado, domingo, lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes. Okay? So I will be back next week on lunes, martes, miércoles, and jueves. Okay? But not viernes. Fridays we don't live stream, right? Unless if something monumental occurs in the market. And that is actually it was a horrible pronunciation, Juan. You are probably laughing your ass off right now. This will be the very last thing. This is like being on the phone with my mother when she says one last thing she wants to tell me, and I'm on the phone for another 10 minutes while she's trying to close out. Make sure, really, and I'm being sincere when I say this, make sure you click that bell icon for all notifications. Sometimes I can't notify you with in good timing of when I'm going to live stream. And also, as things begin to pick up in the fourth quarter, as I suspect they will, predominantly as we get into November, and we get into that real bullish 2025, I'm expecting a lot of green. we're going to have some ad hoc streams where you're going to want to tune in and take a look at some really exciting price action. And I'll keep it very even keel and unemotional for the most part. Of course, I'm sure there'll be a little emotion in there. Gotta bring a little liveliness to the stream. If I came out here and talked in a monotone voice all the time, I don't know why the hell you guys would tune in and be like listening to paint dry. All right, guys. Great to be back. I'll be back on Monday. Small probability of Sunday. Either way, I'll be back next week. Good to see everyone. Until next time, let's all spread awareness and carry the education forward and hold them. Not fold them, hold them. Else you will regret it.